Hi, my name is Isabella, and for my behavioral change project, I centered it around the physical health dimension. My BCP was physical health. My overall SMART goal was to increase my physical strength by going to the gym at least 3 times a week and following a progressive workout routine throughout this semester. This goal was specific, strength training, measurable 3 times a week, attainable based on my schedule, relevant, connected to improving physical health, and timely to be completed by the end of this semester. Each week, I determined if I was ready to increase the weight when I was certain my form was solid. I would often preview YouTube videos or specific workouts to be certain I was doing them correctly to alleviate any sort of injury. Keeping my goal of getting stronger at the center of my workouts, I was also. Can we pause that real quick? Because, hi, my name is Isabella, and for my behavioral change project, I centered it around the physical health dimension. My behavioral change project was physical health. My SMART goal, my overall SMART goal was to increase my physical strength by going to the gym at least 3 times a week and following a progressive workout routine throughout this semester. This goal was specific with strength training, measurable 3 times a week, attainable based on my academic schedule, relevant, connected to improving my physical health, and timely to be completed by the end of this semester. Each week, I determined if I was ready to increase the weight on a certain workout when I was certain that my form was solid. I would often preview workout videos on YouTube or TikTok about certain workouts to be certain I was doing them correctly to alleviate any injury. Keeping my goal of getting stronger at the center of my workouts, I was also interested in supplementing my workouts to keep my engagement high. While incorporating this addition to my workout, I knew it, in- it included that I knew it included that I continue to be aware of my SMART goal. Setting up a good foundation that was achievable this first semester has provided me with a lot of confidence and pride, knowing that I can continue this workout throughout the rest of the school year. Knowing that I am creating a pattern of self-love for my physical body, which undoubtedly provides endless benefits for my overall health, is something I am choosing to do beyond this classroom assignment. Behavioral change model. Why I chose this BCP. Why I chose to focus on the element of physical health was to commit to exercising more consistently so I could get stronger and feel better in my body. Ultimately, I chose to focus on getting stronger as my key behavioral change so I could grow into my best self. What I wasn't expecting was all the significant changes getting stronger would reflect back to me. The health belief model focuses on how a person's beliefs about health influence their willingness to take action. It includes perceptions of susceptibility, severity, benefits, barriers, cues to actions, and, most importantly, self confidence. For me, the HBM was reflected in the way I believed that not prioritizing my physical health could lead to negative outcomes such as lower energy, stress buildup, and feeling unhappy in my body. I also strongly believe in the benefits like improved strength, improved confidence, and improved emotional well-being, which motivated me to keep following through. Some barriers that I did have to overcome included time management, motivation, and learning not to overwhelm myself with unrealistic and unsettable expectations. My cues to action came from class discussions, personal reflections, and even noticing how good I felt after each workout, even when I didn't really want to go. Over time, my self-motivation and confidence in my ability to make this change grew as I realized I didn't need to be perfect to see progress, and I didn't need to see progress to know that what I was doing was making a difference in my body. My project co- my project connects strongly to the health belief model because even though I initially was only prioritizing my physical health, through this process I ultimately saw and had growth in other dimensions as well. What began as a commitment to purely just trying to get stronger, I also just went on like a broader journey to transform how I felt overall. One one where I felt and learned healthier ways to cope, release stress, and let go of any negative energy. In many ways, this project has helped me understand what I truly what I truly need and needed to be the best person for myself and what I need to do to be able to overcome all these obstacles. The six dimensions of health. Originally, this was a physical dimension of health, but throughout the semester, it related to emotional and spiritual as well. Over this semester, I focused on improving my physical health by going to the gym more regularly, which helped me get stronger and feel better about my body. The commitment or my commitment to exercising also gave me a time to slow down, reflect, and grow in my spiritual health. At the same time, I worked on my emotional health by finding new and effective ways to cope with challenges rather than relying only on calling my mom. Although these changes allowed me to build strength, develop healthier coping strategies, and create a stronger foundation for my well being. While relating this experience back to the six dimensions of health, it is clear that my behavior change project started off and was rooted solely in the physical health dimension. The longer I was at the gym and exercising, it became more clear that I was also supporting my emotional health and my spiritual health. What I learned through this experience has been so valuable. I learned so many valuable lessons throughout this project and gained a much more clear understanding of who I am, how strong I am, and how to support myself in healthier, more intentional ways. Knowing I am creating a pattern of self love for my physical body is something that I am choosing to do beyond this assignment. Professional future. Even though I don't plan on pursuing a career as a personal trainer or a physical therapist, I still found countless benefits in committing to this project. Because I want to be a sports psychologist, I paid close attention to how exercising affected my mood, my stress, and my overall mental health. I noticed that working out gave me an immense sense of relief and helped me calm down, especially when weeks were feeling especially overwhelming. This personal insight is something that I know to be valuable, and I know working with athletes in the future will also be beneficial. Of course, athletes already have their own like designated and set workout for them, but learning and going through this process of working out originally for my physical um, health, I realized that, excuse me, working out can help emotional and spiritual. And so helping athletes be able to realize that if they're stuck in a rut or they're not feeling too good mentally, maybe switching up their exercises for their specific sport or supplementing with like a yoga class, meditation, Pilates, or even just like mindfulness walks, I think could be really beneficial for them because it will make them see exercise in a completely different way that they don't have to just exercise purely for their sport and to train and be the best in their area of specialties, but they can also use it to calm down, relax, and just feel better about themselves overall. And then, did I accomplish my goal? Yes, in many ways, I do feel like I accomplished my goal. Unfortunately, the last few weeks, especially with Thanksgiving break, the end of the semester, and finals, I really have not made time to be able to commit to the gym. I haven't made much of a conscious effort to go out and get exercise. It was easier earlier in the semester when I didn't have as much going on, and honestly, it wasn't as cold outside. But even though my routine has kind of slipped up a bit, I can still see and appreciate all the progress that I've made. The healthier food choices I've been making, the workouts I've completed, and the way I feel in my body all show that these changes I started are still having an impact on my body now. Most importantly, I've never once regretted going to the gym. Even every time I leave, I feel better, stronger physically, and calmer emotionally, and more connected to the version of myself that I want to keep on being. I hope that by doing this project, I was able to instill a sense of dedication to go to the gym and keep working out, not only for my physical health, but also for my emotional and spiritual health as well. These are just some pictures that I took. So I would really only take these pictures In the moment when I remembered, a lot of the times I low-key forgot, but, I started taking them to send to my brother to make sure, um like, he was kind of like my accountability buddy, um, but I started taking these and sending them to him to kinda, like, show him and prove to him that I was going to the gym, I was being consistent, I was keeping up with, the workouts that I was doing. And he was also a really big part of like why I wanted to continue or like start going to the gym really heavily. Um, I heavily relied and rely on what my brother says. He plays soccer and trains 3 to 4 times a week. While his advice gave me a strong starting point, I eventually realized that simply copying his routine did not necessarily align with what I needed since he is like a high school soccer player. Like I am not working out that much, so some of the things that he was doing, I didn't necessarily need to do myself. But I did find it incredibly helpful to send him these photos to just say, "Hey, I'm working out. I'm doing these things." I'd also send him like pictures of like machines and stuff, like if I didn't know how it worked or like if I didn't know or like wanted to perfect my form or something, I would like send him a picture, be like, "Hey, how to use this? What should I do? Help me out here, bud." So I kind of also took pictures for that. Um and they just provided like proof that I did go to the gym. So like seeing all these pictures lined up, like I'm really proud of myself for going to the gym and being consistent in my health goal, and that's something I'm really proud of. I called my mom every day regardless, but I also called my mom every day after the gym to talk about honestly anything, but also it became like a routine to go to the gym, get my water, call my mom. Um, so it was like really nice to like that was my routine for a couple of months. Um, and then I absolutely noticed these benefits in my own life. The more consistently I exercised, the more I felt my emotional health improving. Working out gave me an opportunity to push myself towards something meaningful, even if it was for only 25 to like 45 minutes every day. It provided a mental break from everything stressing me out, and it provided a way for me to not have to think about anything and everything for like 25 minutes every day. Also, researching this topic helped me recognize that these feelings weren't just coincidental, they were supported by evidence showing that exercise directly contributes to emotional well being, especially among women, because women have a different emotional regulator than men, and also amongst college students. Um, these are my works cited. Thank you so much.